what's up? Welcome back to Mind of Micah, episode 3. We're going to have real open and honest conversations all about heritage, culture, dating, family, relationships, and so much more. And my guest today happens to be one of my big brothers, big dog of mine. Name is, I can't say it yet, but I will say he is God-fearing, a husband, a father, an accountant, financial expert, Cleveland consulting firm. He's part of also 2 Black Box Fix. I believe the creator for the Real Black Friday, is that right? The Real Black Friday, and part of Financial Foundation University. Your boy, Larese Purnell. I gotta say, the man's in the building, the math man, the money man. If you did not know, where the taxes at?
Hey man, we still got a deadline right now while
Still?
we talking.
How?
Yes.
How?
We have May, September, October.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't know why people act like they don't know those. They don't even know the first one.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
I thought April was the cutoff time.
No, so you do an extension, it takes you to October. But if you have a nonprofit, it's in May. And then you can take that one, to another day.
So that matters. So what about LLCs too?
LLCs, so that's April 18th, but then you take that one to October 15th. So
Gotcha.
they get 6 months after, the extension deadline.
Wow, man.
All year long.
You connect.
Look, hey.
Because I didn't know. Nah, I'm messing with you.
Here you go.
Well, welcome to Mind of Micah.
Yes.
It's my podcast. I do radio, so I'm trying to branch off into more things. And this is one of those things I want to get into because I don't have to have a limit or a filter.
That's right.
So you know what I'm
You
saying?
set your own sky. People always talk about, hey, the sky's the limit. Ain't no sky.
Ain't no sky.
You said it. Boxes don't exist. You operate outside the box.
You have to.
Don't let people put you in a box.
No.
People create ceilings, but hey, you already know. You create your own status.
What about working 9 to 5s? What are your thoughts on? I seen a meme that was like, working 9 to 5, you work for 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, you eat within 15 minutes of your 30-minute break, and then you don't really get to enjoy your life that much. So what are your thoughts on working 9 to 5? What is that about? Like, are you for 9 to 5ers? Are you like, I don't want to be a 9 to 5er?
Yeah, so you're talking to an entrepreneur, and the only way to run a business is with staff.
Okay.
So I look at it from both angles.
Yeah.
I need staff in order to keep my business going. So I agree with 9 to 5.
Okay.
Because everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Some people are not visionaries. They're not leaders. They don't want to lead others. But what this world has confused a lot of people that they want to be their own boss.
Yeah. Because social media.
Social media make it seem fun. But
You make it seem fun too? No, I'm just messing with you.
But I talk about failures.
I talk about
I don't be
failures.
getting them talks. I miss those. I always
Because those are hard talks, so nobody want to listen to the hard
Because we gonna
talks.
start crying.
Oh, that's right. Like, now he gonna deter. Y'all want to see. Everybody want to see the wins.
Yeah.
How you grow a company, how you make money, how you get the bag. But ain't nobody talking about all the failures. How many bags get emptied the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? How we hustle backwards
that's that
as a
guilty
community.
conscience.
Ooh,
Look.
ooh, let's go. Let's
That's
go.
not what we here. Hold on. We're going to pause that real
Okay.
fast because we do what's called affirmations. So I'm going to give you some and you say them after me.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
I am confident.
I am confident.
I prioritize my mental health.
I prioritize my mental health.
I am constantly on a journey of healing and evolving.
I'm constantly on a journey of healing and evolving.
God's favor and love finds me and goes before me.
God's favor finds me and goes before me.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So I do want to get into today, some of my own personal business real quick. I won't give you full details because it's just so much and it's so long.
Okay.
But I feel like you being who you are, maybe you could help not just me, but people that's watching out. So if you tuned in right now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. The Dope Dixon, Mind of Micah is going up and impacting and changing lives at the same time. So one thing that's happening in my life right now, my sister, she is battling drugs, right?
Okay.
Mom and dad did drugs, and parents before them did drugs too.
Right.
So I'm into looking like, okay, what's happening with this generational curse?
That's right.
Right? Because the same thing, the same mindset, mind frame, things are happening for my sister that happened to my parents. It almost happened to me, not with drugs, but other things that my mom had to deal with. And I was like, hell no, I peeped what she went through. I'm not doing that. I'm okay.
Right.
So are we a cursed people? Like, I'm seeing black people. Are we a cursed people?
I don't think that we're cursed people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes we just get caught up in circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, because we have so many issues as a people,
Yeah.
what happens is we watch family members go through trials and tribulations and
Yeah.
challenges. And because we have our own issues, we can't jump in and stop their issues. So what happens is, like, for example, your sister,
Yeah.
she gets caught up in that. Micah has her own issues. Micah loves her sister.
Yes.
But guess what? Micah has to deal with paying the rent, taking care of her children, doing all that sorts of working a 9 to 5, being an entrepreneur. So then she can't even focus on her own sister. So it's not that she doesn't love her, but think about if you were able to focus on her, what you could possibly stop.
And that was the next question. Like, would you, or should we as people sometimes take a pause in our own life to go help out our family, right?
Yes, but the reality is, as a people, one, and I hate to say this because it's going to take us in other ways, but a lot
It's
of
okay,
times
you can say it 'cause it's-
we're selfish,
Okay.
we're haters, and we broke.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to focus on you in any aspect of your life if I
Yeah.
can't even pay the rent.
Yes.
So let's be honest, beyond our relationship, money will deter us. That's why we have health disparities. That's why we deal with, now, of course, the system is broken, but a lot of times we don't address certain things is because we don't have access to resources. But guess what? If Micah have as much margin as she needs, could she take a month off work and deal with her sister and make sure she gets whole?
Very true.
So again, that poverty is real, man, and it impacts so many areas of our lives.
So when you say poverty, let's not say poverty just in finances, but also in mindsets.
Oh.
Because the way we think is
Yeah.
a big deal. I see so
right.
many broken. I mean, that's not even broken. Let's say this man dresses in the finest of clothes.
That's
I
right.
mean, head to toe, he designer dripped out, but his internal person is like broken.
That's right.
I get tired of that.
That's right.
How do
I
we
get
fix?
it.
How do we deal with mindsets too when it comes to our people?
We got to deal with our identity first.
So we say mindsets, we don't know who we are in a lot of cases because we can't be what we don't see. So if we don't see positive role models, if we don't see doctors in our community, if we don't see successful business owners, then we can't be what we don't see.
Yeah.
So then we have no identity. So when we don't have no identity, we chase things that have no relevance and no substance. So then that's why we have to drive the expensive car to make us feel big. We have to wear the fancy suits so we can feel important because we don't know who we are. So until we get whole mentally, mindset-wise, physically, and financially, we will search for things that really and truly have no value. And that's why you got people on social media and they get confused with that's their real family and friends. I tell you, get sick and watch how many of those followers show up at the hospital.
And on top of that, you got all the followers, but what is the money management to that too? That's a big thing too. Like, I'd rather make the money than the followers.
So, I mean, let's be real. I mean, you got 100,000 followers, but you got $100 in your bank account.
Make it add up. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me. I mean, you look at your phone, the most powerful thing that you carry around every day. And when you look at that timer, how much time you put on social media, and then you ask yourself, oh, I put 6 hours watching YouTube, watching TikTok, watching, Instagram, all the different platforms. Then I look at, I don't even have a financial app on my phone, but I have every app for stuff that people else around the world are making money, but I don't even have something that makes me money. And I don't put 23 minutes, but I put 23 hours on that stuff. So we got to make it make sense all the way around.
Yeah. Was there ever a time where Larese didn't have his identity?
Man, in a lot of cases, if my father walked in here right now they ain't old enough to be my father, because I could say one of the people doing the video might be my daddy. But no, seriously, if my dad walked in this room right now, I wouldn't even know it was him. Never seen him, never seen
you
a
never had your
picture,
father?
never had my
I didn't
father.
know that.
Hey, we came to talk. I told you, let's
know,
talk.
it's like, oh, I
Let's
didn't know.
talk.
I feel
Look,
bad
now you feel like a mom. See, that
Now I
mom
feel
kicked
like-
in. Like, she want to pat me on the head. Like, oh, Larese, it's going to be okay. You loved. Look, no, but seriously. So it was hard for me even getting married when I was 19.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that. I got married when I was 19 years old. When I went back to college, my sophomore year, I got married and came back to college. I was 19. But guess what? That probably was because I didn't have love. I didn't have a man to say, are you out your crazy loving mind? You too young. Now I look back at, I have a 19-year-old child now. I couldn't imagine my son taking care of a wife. Like, they would be hungry. They would have no lights. I mean, car would be run out of gas on them.
And
Like,
you tell your son this, right?
oh, for sure. I said, babe,
I wish you would. So, but no, seriously.
I didn't know who I was because I didn't really have a man. I had angels in this community, and that's why I do the work I do around entrepreneurship. It was black entrepreneurs in this community, all up and down Kinsman, that would speak into my life, that would keep me out the streets where I could have picked going to be a gangbanger, I could have sold some dope, and all that sort of stuff, because I didn't know who I was, because I didn't have a man to say, I want to be like that, I want to emulate that.
Wow.
So again, for me, I was trying to figure it out all through college. Then I'm trying to be a husband. I'm like, I don't know how to, do I probably don't even know how to love her? Like, do I know how to speak into her life? Do I know how to protect her? I didn't know how to protect myself. I barely know how to write a check or pay some bills.
Yeah, you was 19.
I was 19.
Your mom be, no shade.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead and shade. Go ahead.
we be dumb.
Man.
I was dumb, and I'm a girl. And if a man of 19, you know how men, we smart, no shade, but we smarter than men. We mature faster, we speak faster, we know more
Facts.
things. So if I was at 19, I didn't have my son yet, but I was like trying to please a man. That was my thing at 19, trying to make sure the man, what do you need?
Man.
Nigga locking me in the closet and shit. That's another whole different topic.
but look, no, seriously, at 19, the way it goes is they said we're 5 to 6 years behind a woman's maturity. So I was literally a 13-year-old. She was operating like she was 25. So she had a boy as a husband.
Trying to raise.
And I'm talking about I'm somebody's husband, and I'm going to lead her life, And so again, I was trying to figure out myself and who I was, who I wanted to be. And all I knew that is I came from a broke home. I stayed in homeless shelters in this community. And I just did not want to have to light a candle to have electricity in my house as a grown man, because I did that and I dealt with that my entire life. So I just wanted something better. So I went to school, didn't even know what I wanted to be. You know how I picked college, Micah?
You picked college?
I picked college.
So you ain't sell no drugs?
Oh, I ain't sell no drugs.
Okay.
But I had... we ain't gonna talk. I ain't gonna get my people gonna be like, why you put my business? I had some people, like my family ain't look. They say what they say. You could have 2 children. One could be a doctor. One could be, a crackhead. So let's be real. So we had a couple people in the family that did some other stuff. But all that being said is how I picked college. They came to Warrensville. At that time, we were living in Warrensville. They came like right before school was getting ready to end. I hadn't thought about college because my mom, she didn't know what to tell me. All she said, I want you to have better. You're going to go to school. If you live in this house, you're going to get good grades, whatever the case may be. But she didn't experience college, so she didn't even know how to tell me where to start. They came in. The last school that came in was Bowling Green. I picked and I went in a book and I was like, well, that's only 2 hours away. I'm going there. So I went there and I caught the bus for student orientation. Do you know I was the only child who went to student orientation by himself? I remember being embarrassed. Now, my son goes to Bowling Green now.
Yeah.
But I took him.
Yeah.
I made sure I drove him.
Yes.
I helped him move in. I bought all the things he needed. I caught the Greyhound to my student orientation.
yourself?
By myself. My mother didn't even know that it was important that she went. I was the only student during that orientation that did not have a parent. And I remember the parents asking me, like, hey, when is your parents coming? And I was so embarrassed. I said, oh, they're back at the hotel. She's not feeling well, but she'll catch up with us. This is a 3-day process. And they never saw my mother.
Yeah.
And I just remember how it made me feel like, oh, maybe my mom should have been here. But I didn't know no better.
Because she
didn't
never
know.
went.
She never went.
Did her mother ever go, you think?
So her mother, I know she did some trade stuff,
Okay.
but she didn't go to school either.
Yeah.
So that's when you talk about those generational
Yes,
curses.
that's what I'm
so
getting at.
so we can't talk about, and that's why I say we can't be what we don't see.
So how can she give me what she didn't see? And it goes for generations because of that.
That also applies to like patterns and behaviors.
Yes.
Like you said, what we don't see, but some things that we do see, we pick up as well, and we shouldn't pick it up.
That's right. That's
I
right.
know my mother, she was the workhorse, and I'm a workhorse too, but she took care of my dad.
Okay.
And I was like, hell no. I ain't paying these bills. I'm not about to be on my own. Like, what do you need? And she had 9 kids.
Do you pay anything now?
My own bills.
So you ain't willing to split no bills?
I will, but I don't have
Okay, I just
that
want to
yet.
make sure. I just want to make sure.
I don't know. I kind of feel like, personally, I already work hard, and one of my friends...
He work hard.
Like, I know. Hold on. Let me get this out. You know what I mean? So I've always dated men that have had like a lot of money. Like
Okay.
I mean, like rich men, right? And
Okay.
so
On purpose?
I
Oh, we should look. We can't even talk. Oh, come on. Hold on.
I can't say that. So I'll give some real tea, but I can't drop names, right?
Okay.
So I was 19, before I knew about manifestation and attracting what you want, right?
Okay.
Hopped in this NBA player DM.
Okay.
We done talked and hung out, and I didn't know the nigga was who he was, so I was like, oh, this who you is, like. So I've never been a money hungry girl for men's money. It's never been my thing. However, I've always had, I've gone through things where, like domestic violence, right?
Okay.
But what came with that was I'll take care of you. Bills paid, take you shopping, I'll cook, I'll clean, but I still would work. But it's like, it came with shit. So now I don't know how to receive shit from a nigga. It's like, and I'm saying that because I'm just saying, you know, black men, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm queen and afro, but that's what I believe, whatever. But I don't know how to receive because I do for me so much. It's like, if a dude do for me, what does it come with? It's always something attached to it. It's never like, let me just love you and hear it. So it's like, shit, I would do it on my own.
No, you just, it's like the group. You just got to go from boys to men.
Okay.
That's all. You were dealing with boys, and now it's time you in a period of your life, you got to deal with men.
So I don't mind. I don't want to go half of my man on my bills.
So you'll.
I will, but I don't.
So you're gonna have separate goals.
I want to live in my own house.
Y'all both want to retire, right?
I think
y'all both want to build wealth.
Yes.
But y'all gonna do it separately, on two different accords.
I don't know yet.
So he
I'm
dies
not
with
there
all the
yet.
money and he don't teach you. No. So then you ain't gonna be able to maintain it. You don't want to start with me, Micah. You don't want to start with me. Let's go.
I'm not there yet. So right now, like I'm just so focused on building my own that it's like if he's not coming to help what I have, just go away. Just right now, I want to build my.
If he ain't there to help you,
and
but are you there to help him?
I'm gonna always help. I'm
so
always
gonna help him.
Always. I have always been the help.
So, but it's
and
help
the giver,
with limitations.
And the nurturer.
Help with limitations. No, you said you ain't gonna go half on the bill, so it's limitations.
But I mean, I don't expect him to pay my bills unless he want to. If he want to, you know what I mean, come lighten the load, and I ain't gotta cook tonight, and kids can get food from wherever. Help lighten my load. That's you know. Now, Larese, niggas be selfish.
Yeah.
And be like, give to me. What are you gonna give? And it's like, here goes the world.
But you heard me say though. I tell guys to be very careful because women will say, "Now I'm here to defend my guys today." I'm gonna defend my fellas.
I'm not saying they're all bad.
Look, because I say, hey, be careful. You don't get a woman that's gonna help you empty the bag versus
I'm not
build
that
the
girl.
bag.
I've never been that girl.
Because some chicks, you know,
I know who they are.
Ooh.
They exist. I'm not. Come on, I'm not that.
I hate to say,
pour life into men, to people. Period. That's my job as the gift from God and the spirituality. I'm a pourer. I will help you, fix you, and build you, and all. You know, I have you. Like
you tired of fixing.
I'm tired of fixing.
I'm with you.
And it's like, here's the thing. I'll fix, but it's like, don't take out of me.
Yeah.
It's more so when it comes out of me and I don't have nothing back. You don't replenish me. It's like I'm done.
Yeah.
Like the last one I had, I poured.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want you to. Now I'm gonna say as your big brother, I'll be very. I don't respect men who don't value the woman they're with, especially a woman that has children, because you ain't just taking out of her mouth, you're taking out of their mouth.
Right, and that time.
And you not a real man if you're taking away from a child's future.
Yes.
And for me, it's like I don't respect that.
You can't.
So one guys can't hang around me if they don't pay child support. If you not with
or take care of their kids.
or if they don't take care, so if they don't, because you don't have to pay child support.
Yes.
If you just take care of your kid. But you can't hang around me if you don't take care of your kids. I don't respect guys like
I don't
that.
do deadbeat moms.
No.
You got a kid, you ain't and you a mother.
Yeah.
We can't be friends.
Now
even men, I can't talk to you if you got kids. And you know I have kids, and you want to. Why can we hang out? You know I'm a father. No, you ain't, nigga. You don't even see your kids. Why I gotta say you go get your own kids?
Yeah.
Dang, that's some real shit.
Oh.
I think because my son father, and this is no shade.
Oh man.
Dang, I'm about to tell on him right now. Ooh, he gonna be like, why would you say it? Why would you? Because y'all.
Here we go.
Because I gotta say it. When I first started dating Elijah's father, and he knows it, so I told him to his face, whatever. He had 2 kids, 2 boys, and he would never have his sons.
Okay.
And I was like, let's get your boys. I didn't have my son yet, so I was like, let's get your boys, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to. I didn't know this. I was making him into a dad. So, but I'm getting his kids that weren't mine, who I still help out with today. They like 12 and 20 now, but they still consider me part of their moms. Like, you know what I mean? And I had my son, so it's we taking care of his 2 kids, my son, all as a one big family. Whatever happened, we break up, split up. This man is like the most half-assed dad in the world, if that. You know what I mean?
Because sometimes now to defend some fellas, and it's not a good thing, but some women are so let's be honest, crazy, that I don't want to take my kids around her.
Until I understand that this is gonna be a real relationship.
True.
So it's like I ain't gonna take my kids around every chick that I date. When I got divorced, like you ain't see me out here like women didn't come to my house.
They shouldn't.
They didn't come to my kids are there. My kids lay their hair down.
But you had your kids.
Yeah, I had my
This
kids.
man don't have his kids.
Yeah.
He don't get his son. He
Yeah.
plays basketball, comes to his games.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you, but I'm also like, hold up.
Yeah.
First of all, this gotta be up here. Oh, put that down.
Look.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get it, but with men, I'm taking my time. I'm not in no rush.
Yeah.
I'm in my water me season. So
Ooh, that's good.
I have to be. And I told God, I never been this tunnel vision ever.
Yeah.
And it scares me because I'm like, work, my kids, work, my kids, work. It's all I care about.
Yeah.
And then the dudes will be like, you want to go out and eat? No. Do you want? No. You want? No.
You can afford your own meal.
Yes, and my own things.
Yeah, and you want something more than that. You ain't looking for stuff.
No,
Because
no,
he gets
hell
sick
no.
and he don't have a job. You got to know that there's more to the relationship
Yes.
besides what he can buy you,
Yes.
what dinner place he can take you. So
Yes.
you want more.
I want.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
And if he men that's probably older than you, who'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, I'll be like,
Look.
you want to play this game for real? Like, you gonna be crying in the car, like.
Oh, that's how she do. Oh wow! Look, here we go.
I really don't. It be they own fault.
Look,
It's
there
not
you
me.
go.
I'm not the
Look.
problem.
Yeah.
This is my show. We ain't doing that.
Look, we gonna turn the table. Look.
We got to play a game called Larese called Hot Seat,
Oh God.
where I ask you like 5 questions. These are all almost true or false.
Okay.
And they're just fun questions, so nothing bad.
Okay.
So now it's time for our hot seat. Okay, you ready?
Let's go.
So Ohio is known for its black bear population. True or false?
False.
Very false. We don't have no black.
We don't have no black bears. Ain't even no mountains. Look.
If a man has 100 bodies to his name, that makes him a runner. True or false?
False.
What?
False, that's right.
No, it ain't false. He's still a thought.
Oh.
Oh, you know what a runner was?
Oh no, I know what a runner was.
whore.
Oh. Okay. I was like, oh. I thought bodies meant like he had some bodies in the ground. See? I'm like, look, yeah.
I know you from the streets.
Yeah, look, I was like, I said, that's a whole lot of bodies. Like, I got to take a new name for that.
Look.
A commercial aircraft can fly up to 575 miles per hour. True or false?
True.
Very true. Okay. What is the purpose of a star constellation?
Purpose of a star constellation is, I don't know that.
I don't know either. I just wanted to put it on there to see if you just had an answer for me.
Yeah. Like, it's,
So I know, like, some of them tell the seasons, like the Orion's belt. You have it in your office too, actually, matter of fact, on the one globe, and it tells when it's winter. So now you look up, it's spring, you won't see it no more. But when it's winter time, you will see the Orion's belt outside.
So, but I only bought that because I like the way it looks. So I didn't know that. I forgot I even had that in my office. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
When I came down there, I was going through my phase of like spirituality and seeing numbers. So I'm like, it's attracting me to this moment with this
I forgot I
globe.
even had that. That's funny.
Okay, last question. If you are raised in Cleveland, then more than likely you will make something of yourself.
Absolutely.
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 Agreed, for sure. And that is our hot seat.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're still moving along, talking about generational curses. And next up, we want to get into how can we break generational curses? How can we start changing? Because my mom had 9 kids. I am the only child, and it's never no shade towards my family. Only child that's doing something with myself. Like, and I'd be so mad at my older sisters, like, nobody doing nothing. Ain't nobody trying to do anything. And it's like everything falls on my lap. Wow. So as much as I'm like helping out people who are watching, it's also me pouring out my truth because it's like it be a lot from work to my children to my family to trying to just build something. But I got weight that's, you know what I mean? So.
Oh, yeah.
That's real, man. Take it. It can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. Especially when you are the Moses of your family, and that's what you are. And it is, you are freeing your family. You're the catalyst. And that can have a lot of weight, man. A lot of weight, a lot of pressure. And what the worst part of that is when you helping people try to break their own curses, how those sometimes can be your biggest haters. And people think friends are just your haters or confused friends, but your family sometimes can be your biggest supporters and your worst enemies while you're trying to help them break those curses. So all I would say to you, man, because I see you, like, now I'm little brother now. Now you don't kick me, like, I'm mad. Like, I want to find out who making you feel that way. I'm real upset right now. No, seriously, but, you know, just keep doing what you're doing because you don't know your work. Somebody is watching you somewhere and you're keeping them encouraged. You don't know if a sister that you feel like is not doing nothing tried to kill themselves before. But because of your work, you're keeping them encouraged that one day I'm going to overcome this and change my life. So yeah, stay encouraged,
And for
man.
those who are tuned in, you know, I have looked up, like, is it biblical generational curses? Is it passed down from our ancestors to us? Like, you know, what things they dealt with and went through? Is it something that's following us? You know what I mean? Like,
So when you read the word, it talks about you leave an inheritance for your children's children, and that's an indication of a good man. And so the word talks, you know, one of the most mentioned words in the Bible is about money and wealth. So that means prosperity is in it, growth is in it. And so when you think about that, you know, you don't hear about, you know, of course, poor will be amongst us. So you're going to have struggles in that. But that's not something that's played. The word doesn't talk about, you know, you're going to deal with that generationally. It talks about, you know, progression, you know, how things are going to be broken. And so I would just say that, unfortunately, that is environment. You know, we could really break, this thing could get really deep of how curses. You know, a lot of it goes back to slavery and the challenges. Oh yeah, it goes back to slavery when we had to, you know, fight against each other, when we were pitted against each other, when we had no identity, we had no value, we were valued less than an animal. And then today, you know, we still have those struggles. And when you have people that have not been educated, they tend to carry those same habits for generations. And the one thing that I will say is we have the most powerful tool to mankind that we carry every day. So when people say, can we break these curses? I said, absolutely we can, because we have the phone. The phone gives us education. It's just where we focus our time, where we dedicate our time. What's feeding us? What's feeding us? So again, if we put garbage in, guess what come out? Garbage. So again, we have the ability to break those curses, and we have to make sure that we're starting with someone. And Micah, in your family, you're the catalyst. But what you have a responsibility to do, because you're the catalyst, is to make sure that you give that information back. Where it becomes, to me, unbiblical is when you hoard that information, when you're given access to resources, when you're being exposed, and you're the only one in the family been exposed. So my job is to go back and teach my niece that where maybe my sister's struggling or my cousin and them struggling, they got 7 kids and they don't have no wealth, to say, hey, no, this is the way. This is what I've been exposed to. Let me take your kids. Let me educate you guys so you have the same information I have. But what we've watched is, for generations, even in this community, professionally, people, what they'll do is, because one thing about poverty is, and I keep going back to that, is when you don't have no money. Imagine this. Let me give you a scenario. So I have no money, right? And I get access to an opportunity. And I'm the one in the family now that actually has resources. If I give you access to those resources and you happen to be better than me at it, then guess what happens? You take the access I have to new resources, and now I'm back where I used to be. So because of that, I have a fear of sharing access. But when there's real wealth and there's identity and there's confidence, I'm willing to share that with everybody. So that's why when you see me in the community, I don't care. It's enough for all of us to have a piece of the pie. I'm not afraid to give resources. People say, they beat me up, Micah, and say, man, why he always teaching for free? Why he always doing this? He don't charge nobody for nothing. He don't do nothing. Because I have a responsibility, as I've been exposed, to make sure others are exposed. So I'm telling all y'all out there that's listening, and you think you the first doctor in your family, you the first lawyer, you the first person on the radio, on TV, all that, you feel like you've made it. You ain't made it until you went back and made sure your people are going to make it. And then those curses that were in your family are broken, and you're given the same access to your people. And that's flat out that.
And it's because, or if not, we're going to die with it.
Yeah.
How many people you know in your family that did have something die with that
I
information?
can't even say because I'll be searching my ancestry, and I went all the way back to like Charleston, South Carolina, and Clarendon County, and I was like, we always did the same thing. My great grandfather, my granddad. First of all, we was farmers, right? We were self sufficient. They done sold the farm,
Yeah.
and that's gone. My other granddad, he was like in the Navy, in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Flew. He had leukemia. He passed away, but it just been passed. I'm just looking at the death certificates, the birth certificates, like, dude, like, it's always the same thing, and nobody's talked about who we are as people. We don't have a family history book that was about this person, that person. We don't have nothing, no pictures, no nothing. So we don't have that. So I don't know anyone.
So break it, but now that you know it, and that's why a show like this is so important to get information out. This is what's going to change people. People say, well, Larese, what's going to change? Information and education is what's going to break curses in our families. Because guess what? I'm teaching people. You talk about that. This generation, you, Micah, if you own a farm, I'm going to teach you how to make sure that you don't leave that farm to your son.
Yeah.
And you like, what do you mean? That's what I work hard for.
His kids. What?
No, because what we're going to do is I'm teaching them to put it in a trust. Because now it's never in his name. Because the worst thing in the world is Micah works her whole career, leaves her son a house out in wherever you buy that house, and then your son gets married, and guess what? Then he gets divorced, and his wife takes the house. So now, what's the legacy in the family?
Yeah.
What's the legacy? It doesn't exist because now you haven't protect the assets from this generation to make sure they go for the next 3 generations. Less than 75% of wealth gets transferred to 3 generations. Only 50% gets transferred to the 2nd generation. So in our community, that's the average community. So imagine in the black community,
How many even make it? You can't even, if I to ask you right now, Micah, name me 5 black businesses in the city of Cleveland that have existed for 50 years.
Not 50.
50, you can't.
I don't know. 50.
But that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. But we can name steel firms. We can name manufacturing companies. We can name
The
retail.
fast food chains, for sure.
That are white owned, that have been for generations. 100 years. This organization, 120 years. But we can't name that because we're not protecting it. We're not taking information and utilizing it. And we're not sharing it. We ain't sharing the game. And on social media, it drives me crazy. So people are like,
They
well,
hold the keys.
They hold.
They hold it.
And they not giving it to you unless
They
you pay
be so
for it.
mad. And if you pay for it, they still give you half.
They give you half because they need you to get to the next class.
Man.
So then I get around the country, so you know, as I travel this nation, I'm the guy that nobody wants them on the program because Larese gonna give you everything I'm gonna teach, but I was gonna teach you over the next 8 years because I'm gonna make you pay for my class every year. So Larese is the guy I don't want on my panel because he ain't leaving that stage. You can't invite me nowhere in this country and you don't give me a PowerPoint. You ask me to be the keynote. If you watch what I put out intentionally, you always see a PowerPoint slide because before I leave, I'm going to make sure you have tools. I'm leaving you with the tools that's going to change your life. And my thing is, so if you don't change after you leave that room, it's because you don't want to change.
That's it. Now you guilty.
Now
you
you
accountable.
guilty. So if you die poor, it ain't your fault. I mean, if you born poor, it ain't your fault. But if you die poor, it is your fault.
Yeah.
Because we have access. What is it? 524 times a day, the average person looks at this phone. And you might say, that's impossible. No, text message, emails, I'm going on YouTube, I'm going on Instagram, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this
Taking
and
pictures.
that. Taking pictures. So it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Look,
You
I'm
passing
ready,
it. Like,
I'm ready to go.
That's why you're on the
Look,
show.
look, I'm ready to go.
That's why you're on the
Let's
show.
go.
We gotta go ahead and do something too, though. We're gonna have a little fun real quick. So we gotta. I need y'all help. Y'all ready for this one? Y'all ready?
Yep.
It's time to play. Hey, close your ears. You probably be okay though.
Okay.
What's in the box?
I'm like, oh, you know, you talk about 100 bodies and you doing that. I'm like, hey, you know, that sound like shoot.
Don't start it, Larese. Because men and they double say them to cut the women's body count be blowing me all like, hold on now. Look.
Uh-oh.
Don't defend them men now. Don't defend them now.
Uh-oh.
All right, you gotta put your hand in the box and feel what's in here. You can't say what it is. You can't take it out. Just put your hand in there, and then that's it. That's the game. You look at your camera. You can't say.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Men, they double standard. That's what's in the box, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that
Okay.
part. 'Cause of the
Okay.
confetti.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Generational.
Yeah. Look. Okay. Okay.
That's a curse, too.
Yes.
Passed down.
Oh, for sure.
You know, men and we in heritage is like, you know, used to have poly and you learn that. And I don't have an issue with that, I don't think. I'm trying to still figure it out, too, so.
You don't have so break. Hold on. Hold on. Back up. You slid that in there. Like, go ahead and break that down.
As I'm learning about like, you know, spirituality
Yes.
and our heritage and ancestry, whatever, like, and even you could say Moses and
Yeah.
Abraham had like more than a wife or like concubines or whatever they had. Like they had more than one woman.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was. I guess it was honorable from Yahweh. So, I don't think I'm against it. I don't know if I want that, but I'm not also against it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I think people should be free.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and that's a deep one because for me, of course,
Mm-hmm.
being a Christian man, you know, Cleveland become one, and I just truly believe that's one man and one woman.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, but I have friends that I have a lot of respect, people that I call family, that have multiple
Yeah.
wives, and you know, to each his own.
Yes.
And it's all on what they believe. You know, and I just feel like if you got the capacity
To handle it.
I just be honest with you, I can't handle more than one
Yeah.
Rashadas. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I barely can handle 25% of that girl. So like, I'm like, man, if you got that much strength in your life,
Yeah, good luck.
praise the Lord.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I couldn't imagine two of her running around the house. Like, I would be out my freaking mind. Much as I love her, I'm like, yeah, oh my Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't trying to get in trouble. My Lord. So, yes.
Yeah, so I'm learning. I'm learning it because I'm not sure if it's for me. I'm not sure, but I like my space. I like my freedom, and I'm learning to like not try to possess or own somebody. I think
Okay.
that's the issue with people too in dating is like, you're mine. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. But you can experience me. You can be a part of my journey, but you're not gonna own me. And this is not saying marriage. It's just
Okay.
saying just like dating, get to know
Okay.
somebody. You know how like
Okay.
boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Whole different subject too, but like,
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, you don't own me. You can
So-
be free. But when we
No. I think I heard convenience in here.
not
No,
convenient.
no. We gonna back
said
that up. No. I
That's
think we
not-
gonna be. Like, let's put this in reverse. Like,
First of all, let me go Terry back up.
Look. You. The key thing is you like your freedom.
And I want him to have his too. He could have his too.
so he can.
Yes.
So you don't believe in being exclusive then?
So I don't. So I tried it. I recently just tried that shit.
Okay.
And it did not work out. It was almost mental health breaking point. Like,
Okay.
whoa. So with that being said, it's like, nah, I want him to have his freedom and I want mine. And I'm not saying that means goes mess around and all this and all that, but it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be bothering you and what are you doing and here and then
Yeah.
like I'm not that needy girl.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
And you know what? But I'll give you an example. That's my wife.
mm-hmm.
She's not needy at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I love that about her.
Mhm.
Like, I don't need no woman texting me all
All the
day,
time
like,
calling
where you
you.
at? What time you gonna be home?
Yeah.
Like, that would, so I agree with you on that. That would drive me
Yeah,
crazy.
you still have to be Larese.
I still gotta
and
be
your individual
yeah.
self.
Like,
right?
I need my own space. I need my space to be the thing. And I need to be my best self so I can show up as my best self for you.
Yes.
So if you always sucking the life out of me, I can never be
That's
whole
all
for
I'm
you.
saying. Right.
Because
That's
I can't
it.
be whole for myself.
Yeah.
So it's again, so I agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree with that to a certain
That's it.
extent.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, because you, I think,
'Cause
look.
Be hearing everything else,
Look.
but I'm just saying, like,
So you would marry somebody and they would have multiple wives and you'll be okay with that?
I don't know. I don't know about that part. I didn't say married.
Okay.
We're not even to the engagement. We just saying
Okay.
dating wise.
Just dating wise.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
how, because I used to be when I was in a relationship and I was tied down. I was tied down. I'm always a very loyal person.
Okay.
Very loyal, very
Okay.
forgiving, very like it's okay. We figure it out. Grace and favor,
Okay.
love,
Okay.
and it just got to the point where it just kept draining me, and I'm like, I'm cool on that. No.
Okay.
I dated Kai. Dad, he had 2 women. I was the
Okay.
second girl, and it
Okay.
worked out. He paid the bills. We didn't go half.
So you know what?
See,
So
that's the problem too.
yeah.
I already had that.
So I'm gonna say this. Micah found Micah.
Yes. I'm there. So
You're there now.
I'm so grounded in my beliefs
Okay.
that the woman I'm becoming is who I am loving and who I want to be. That's where I'm at. And that's why I'm saying I want my freedom to be Micah.
That's good.
Men love to come into my life and be like, you're radio personality. You can have anybody you want. Why me? You need to do this, change what you wear and change this. And I'm like, no, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Accept me or leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, why would you be around while you interviewing? You know how they get. So it'd be like, and it's these Cleveland men too. So it's like, not for me.
And I think that you just gotta evaluate. That's part of your checklist. And I'll say that, when I got with my wife, we came from two different worlds at this point. So from the outside, Mike, a lot of people, they were very, very cruel to us when we dated.
Why?
And
they were judging?
It was very judgmental. It was like they considered like my wife to be like a street girl. She dealt with all street dudes.
Yeah.
And I was this corporate dude that wore a suit every day. And then, she fly, she do hair, she, going to the clubs. Larese ain't go. Like, I had never been in a club in Cleveland my whole life.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, I remember the first day I walked in Rumors, Steph Flores was like, Larese Purnell in the building. I was like, dude, I didn't want nobody to know I was here. Why you do that to me? Like, I'm not coming back now. Like, why you do that? And look, Butchie them like, oh, send him a bottle over.
Right.
I'm like, I don't even drink. Like, what we doing here? This is y'all bad influence. Like, I'm like, why you bring me here, Rashonda? Look, so no. But a lot of people, had a lot to say. And it was very hurtful, but people didn't know my story.
Okay.
So they didn't realize, even though she might have dealt with that in her life, she actually grew up better than I did.
They didn't know I struggled there, the struggles I had.
Growing up with a single mother, living in homeless shelters, not having access, being in poverty. They didn't know none of that. Because I would hear people say, oh, I thought you grew up in a good neighborhood, a good family. Yeah, two-parent. And they was like,
the Catholic school.
Yeah, I had it all made. And then realized we had the same struggles. So inside, we knew like we had a connection. But man, people they was mean. They was like, they would be in my DM. They would be putting stuff on the page like, you broke up his marriage. You stole him from his ex. Like, people said some mean stuff. And when you say the confidence, and I'll say for me, what I told her is never change who you are.
Yeah.
I got with you because I like the tight pants so I can see your shape. Yeah. We talking straight. Yeah. I said, I like that you're going to show me a little something and you're going to have a little turn up in you. Like, I like that because I'm serious all day at work. So when I come home, I don't want you to be disrespectful though. And it's now like, you still got to, we got to still manage through some stuff because of what I do for a living. But I said, don't change who you are. Yeah. Don't you change that dress. So one day she came down and she had something on. I'm like, is you crazy? Man, if you don't go put them tight pants back on, like, that's too loose. Like, I'm like, I need to see that body. Like, what we doing here? Like, so no, but seriously, it's men having confidence. But when you have identity and you have confidence in yourself, then you won't deal with that. So when you evaluate guys, don't only look at their credit score, look at their confidence.
For sure, they don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't even look at credit scores, but that's gonna be next too, though. Because they just be having money.
Look. You want to make sure they get a credit card then.
Put me on there as your authorized user. Please and thank you.
Boost
Yes, I need that for sure. So we're gonna last game. I give you a word. You give me what comes to your mind the first time. Okay? Ready?
Yes.
Race.
Love.
Snack.
Oreos.
Jump.
High.
Bank.
A lot of it.
Loan.
Don't take them.
With that, we will conclude the Mind of Micah episode 3, Generational Curses. Larese Purnell. Woo! You made it.
I made it.
You're here.
Confetti, you was shooting guns up in here. Talk about 100 bodies. I got scared.
So listen, like, comment, subscribe. What's your following on Instagram?
Larese Purnell, Larese, Purnell, Purnell on all platforms. Yeah. Hit me up. But make sure y'all spread the word, man. I had so much fun here, and I'm just very proud of the work that you continue to do. I look up to you, man. I love what you do. I mean, I come on and see them videos, and you get hyped. I'm like, I can't even really dance like you, but you be doing it. The sons be doing it, but no, I appreciate you. Keep doing what you do.
For sure. Even with some money management advice.
I'm just gonna say, make sure that we build credit, because if you don't, you're only as big as your bank account. You only got 10 grand, that's all you worth. But if you wanna really build wealth, you gotta have access to credit and start to build relationships. Your network is your net worth. If all your friends around you make 40 grand, you make 40 grand. But if you're around people and you're not the biggest fish in the pond, you do have access. And start to go in rooms that make you uncomfortable. If you go into rooms, you know everybody, they already know you, they already don't support you. Go into rooms that nobody knows your name so you can continue to expand your mind. Take it up another level, y'all.
Catch you on episode 4. Peace out.
Black cherry, wild berry, baby, you the bomb. I can spend